Hey, yo, welcome back to Put 30 on the Clock. I'm Coach Phil, and as usual, let's get right to it. I saw over the summer that Chris Paul signed with the San Antonio Spurs, and when he did that, the news outlets, they didn't go crazy, but they were like, wow, this is a great move for Victor Wembanyama to actually have a point guard who's going to help him, succeed and grow his game so much. This is great for Chris Paul because even though he's this late in his career, he's got another opportunity to be a starting point guard in this league, yada, yada, yada. And I thought to myself, this would be a great opportunity to share something that is killing our youth, right? And the thing that I see that's killing us is this trend. And I've spoken on this before, but it's worth revisiting the trend that you can't be a traditional anything. Now, all of a sudden, the multi-layered player, the hybrid, the combo player, oh, this person can play positions 1 through 4. This person does this, 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 and this. And you look at Chris Paul, and Chris Paul is still 6 feet flat. You know what I'm saying? They say 6'1", but I met him in person one time. He took a picture from my niece, which I thought I was grateful for that. That man, he is 6 feet flat, 5'11", depending on the sneakers that night, right? He's still 6 feet flat, and he's a starting point guard in this league because he's excellent at being a point guard. He's 38, 39 years old, and he's going to start. And he's going to get starters money, starters minutes, starters expectations because he's excellent at what he does. Nobody's going to ask Chris Paul to guard 3s, 4s, and 5s. No one's going to ask Chris Paul to lead his team in rebounds. They'll be happy with whatever rebounds he gets. No one's going to ask Chris Paul to block shots or to protect the paint. All right? They're not even going to ask Chris Paul to leak out in transition and finish as a slasher. It's not what his job is. It's not who he is. It's not what he does. And yet, he's still valuable, super valuable. And they're like, hey, man, we got a spot for you if you want to play. The crazy thing that we have in this generation, not just with the players, and I don't want to blame the players, I blame the culture. I blame the people in charge, the coaches, the social media influencers, basically all the trendsetters, the organizations. Like, there's a lot of people to blame. I'm not going to blame the players for this. I blame them because they're constantly saying, hey, well, now we're looking for this. Now we're looking for that. Now we're looking for this. Well, if you look at Joel Embiid, if you look at Nikola Jokic, these are traditional bigs, traditional centers who have learned how to dribble. They've learned how to triple threat. They've learned how to shoot. But if it comes down to it, bread and butter, and it's time to get a bucket, both of them are on the block. And there's not much anyone on earth can do about it, right? If you look at Chris Paul, he's learned how to hit that turnaround jumper, right? He's learned how to post up a little bit. Even though he's only 6 feet, he's learned how to do it. But when it comes down to it, if his team needs a bucket, he's calling for a screen and roll. The Chris Paul Wemby pick and roll this season is going to be crazy, right? He knows how to get himself a bucket. He knows how to get other people buckets. He knows how to get the team involved. He knows how to take advantage of the defenses that you're playing. He's excellent at being traditional. Now, is it a benefit to learn other skills outside of what you traditionally do? Absolutely. And you should. There's no reason why you should lock yourself in a box. However, we've gotten so far away from being traditional anythings that now we have people carrying out roles that don't even make sense. Like, I'll give you an example. Golden State. Draymond Green is more of the point guard in Golden State than Steph Curry is. And it's been that way for many, many years. That has worked for Golden State. That is not something that should have become the norm. But now you have point forwards almost everywhere. Everybody's trying to like have a little bit of Draymond in their game. Let me bring the ball up the floor. No, if you've been around or you ask any of your coaches have known for years that centers and power forwards have always wanted to bring the ball up, and they constantly have to be told no. Don't bring the ball up. You grab the rebound, you outlet it out to somebody, find a guard. Get it to somebody who can handle the ball. We've now gotten to a point where everybody's like, well, just work on your skills, and it's almost as if the highest levels of basketball have adopted this YMCA rec league kind of thing, and everyone seems to just be going along with it. I'm not against people having the skills to carry out responsibilities that are outside of their traditional expectations. However, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be super good, super nice at your traditional skills and then branch out. We've gone so far that it's backwards now. People are trying so hard to do everything. Why don't you master the few things that you do and then branch out from there? Why don't you be the traditional point guard and then learn how to post up? That's what would make you Jalen Brunson, right? That's what would make you Kyrie Irving. These are point guards first, then they learned how to do those other things. Why don't you become a Chris Paul, who seems to be the last traditional point guard we have left? But to me, it's wild that the last traditional point guard we have left is about 38, 39 years old and is still desired by NBA teams. I'm pretty sure more than San Antonio was calling for his services. So, to be honest, I think he could have went back to Phoenix, but hey, what do I know, right? But it's like he's, in basketball terms, considered old. But because they know what to expect from him, and because they know what standard, what level of excellence to expect from him, it's like, yeah, we definitely got room for that guy. You're not going to ask Chris Paul to guard twos, right? You're not going to ask him to guard shooting guards. The shooting guards now, they're all 6'6" now. There used to be like the Dwayne Wade 6'4" category of shooting guards, the JJ Redick 6'4" kind of guys. Everybody's 6'6" now. You know what I'm saying? Wemby's like 7'2", and Risa Shea is 7'6". Everybody's 7'9" now. So it's just raised everybody's heights. You're not going to ask Chris Paul to guard twos anymore. Not even twos. It's like, no, you just guard ones, but we still got $10 million for you if you come over here and be our point guard. What does that say? So between my favorite examples of Chris Paul, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic, these are traditional players, two traditional centers and a traditional point guard who develop their skills outside of their expected production. It's so important that you don't get lost following the trends. Because if you follow the trends of trying to be a little bit of everything, you're going to find yourself outplayed by someone who zeroed in and became a specialist. And then once they became a specialist, then they started adding to their bag. The coaches know what to expect from this person, right? And they get those things that they expect. It's like, listen, if all else fails, Mike Miller's a shooter. If all else fails, Nikola Jokic is on the block. If all else fails, Joel Embiid is on the block. They know what to expect. Once it's clear that, hey, these people are excellent here, then you branch out. I made this video because we've gotten to a point where people are so busy trying to do so many things that are not traditional that they've lost their sense of purpose. They don't really know how to train anymore because their training is no longer focused and specific. It's just all over the place. It's like, hey, can you do this new move? And it's like, it's going to hurt people unnecessarily. Focus on what you are supposed to do. Be excellent. Don't just be good. Be excellent. Be elite at the things that you are expected to do. And once you've attained elite status at your traditional, positional expectations, then you branch out and add to that bag. But right now we've gotten to a point where it's backwards and it's hurting far too many people. It's Coach Phil. I appreciate you spending these couple of minutes with me. It means a lot to me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Like, subscribe, share this, tell somebody you know, because you know somebody that needs to hear this. I will holler at y'all next time.